Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Interleague play continues tonight as the Cleveland Indians visit Minute Maid Park for a 3-game set. Cleveland remains in first place of the AL Central after sweeping the Reds at home. Lucas Harrell takes the mound for the Astros, wanting to continue his solid pitching at home. The Astros take on the Indians next on Fox Sports Houston. It's interleague baseball from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. It's the Cleveland Indians of the American League Central, a first-place team, in to play the Houston Astros of the NL Central in the opener of a 3-game weekend series. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays on another Flashback Friday. Joe Morgan in the house throwing out the first pitch, and the Tribe in town this weekend, JD.
Yeah, first time we've seen Cleveland since 2001 here in Houston. The pitching matchup features a couple of right-handers. Ubaldo Jimenez for the Cleveland Indians, 6-5 with an ERA of 5. You see the strikeout walk numbers not particularly good for Jimenez, who has struggled since about mid-season of 2010. Lucas Harrell having a fine rookie year. He's 6-5, ERA up over 5, but he's been outstanding, undefeated, as a matter of fact, here at Minute Maid Park.
As the Indians come in, the Astros try to get it revved up at home, where they have a winning record of 19-16. They just lost 2 of 3, but they hope that tonight begins a turnaround for them. We'll find out in just a minute.
Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. We're inside Minute Maid Park, where it will be the Cleveland Indians and the Houston Astros before what looks like it's going to be a pretty nice crowd on a Friday night. A flashback Friday. You can tell by the uniforms. Let's go up to the booth where Bill Brown and Jim DeShays will have the call.
Colorful uniforms, thank you, Greg, and the starting lineup for the visiting Cleveland Indians, managed by former Astro farmhand Manny Acta. Brought to you by Hyundai. Shin-Soo Choo is the leadoff man in right field. It's Asdrubal Cabrera at shortstop, Jason Kipnis at second base, Carlos Santana the catcher, Michael Brantley in center field, Johnny Damon in left field, Casey Kochman at first base, Lonnie Chisenhall at third, Ubaldo Jimenez is the pitcher.
Well, what has Lucas Harrell been up to lately? Well, he's been up to this. Last 3 outings. Beat the Cardinals, beat the White Sox, and then Saturday up in Arlington allowed 5 earned runs in 5 1/3. Suffered his 5th loss. He's 6-5, 5.07 ERA. Defensively, Martinez, Schaefer, Bogusevic, left, center, and right. Third to first on the infield. It's Johnson, Lowry, Altuve, and Lee. Chris Snyder is behind the plate.
As the Indians embark upon this road trip, they'll go on to 2 other cities, New York to play the Yankees and Baltimore. They come off a 4-2 homestand. Lucas Harrell is 4-0 in 5 starts here, a 2.76 ERA. Brett Myers opened at home in 2010, 8-0 to start the season. So Lucas has had that very good feeling here in this ballpark this season, and he faces Shin-Soo Choo. This is the second time he's ever pitched against the Indians. Only 1 inning under his belt in his career against Cleveland. Shin-Soo Choo had 276 with 6 homers, has 24 runs batted in, a good on-base average of 367. And recently he was made the leadoff man, and that's worked out well for the Tribe. He's on a 4-game hitting streak right now.
Well, it's an all left-handed hitting lineup for the Cleveland Indians tonight. Aside from their pitcher, Ubaldo Jimenez. 6 lefties, a couple of switch hitters, so they will all stand in there from the left side against Harrell. So they'll see a lot of sinkers running down and away.
Off-speed pitch is hit in the air toward the left field corner. J.D. Martinez going over into the corner and watching that one go
fair.
Yeah, it is a fair ball. And he's in with a double now. It trickles back toward third. He's going to go for third, and the late throw comes in. And Choo has led off by reaching third base on a crazy ball into the left field corner.
Now, a left field corner that we can't see, so I have no idea what happened. Hopefully our cameras picked it up. It's a changeup punched into the left field corner. I thought for sure this was going to drift out of play, and it just checks up and dies. I'm not sure what was going on with JD there. Choo's not sure what's going on. I think we got the wrong movie. It's Major League with the Indians. This is Angels in the outfield. Somebody redirected this ball. JD's waiting for this thing to drift up into the seats, and it checks up and lands in front of him.
Now a fly ball to left should get him home as Cabrera chases Martinez back to the wall, and he snags it, but that makes it 1-0 Indians. Cabrera getting his 32nd run batted in after the triple by Choo. Left fielder's delight so far.
Yeah, right now JD's thinking, wait a minute, this is supposed to be our ground ball pitcher.
Yeah. Crazy start to this one. Tribe with a 1-0 lead. Now it's Jason Kipnis.
Well, this is a good approach for the Cleveland hitters if they've watched tape and they have scouting reports on Harrell, and you know they have both of those. They're going to be thinking, the left-handed hitters, about taking that sinker the other way.
Kipnis looks at it. It's ball 1. 276, 11 homers, 41 runs batted in for Kipnis. 25 years old from Northbrook, Illinois. He looks at a strike that evens the count at 1-1. Kipnis is second in the American League in steals. Pitch catches the inside corner, and it's a 1-ball 2-strike count. He's 7th in runs scored with 46. The Tribe 8th in runs scored in the American League, having just swept the Cincinnati Reds. And a swing and a miss gets out number 2 for Harrell.
That's a great way to combat that off-field approach that some of the left-handed hitters may be inclined to take against him. He comes with a hard fastball in, then follows up with a good tight breaker down and in to finish him off.
Now Carlos Santana, the catcher, is the cleanup man for this Cleveland club. Santana, a very important man in their scheme of things. He hit 27 homers last year, drove in 79 runs, showing bunt. He takes ball 1. 232, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in this season. Tribe signed him to a 5-year, $21 million contract earlier this year. Showing bunt again. He takes that one. 2 balls, no strikes. Santana signed with the Dodgers in 04. The Indians got him in a trade for Casey Blake in 08. Now it's 3 balls, no strikes.
Not hitting for much of an average, but he has power. Will work a walk. Green light in there. The Indians are an interesting club. They're hitting .269 as a team against right-handed pitching, which puts them 5th in the American League. Against lefties, they're hitting a major league worst .218. So expect to see a lot of Abad, Cedeno, and Wright in this series out of that Astros bullpen.
Yeah, and lefty starters the next 2 games. Keuchel tomorrow night and Happ on Sunday. The shift is on. That puts Altuve at his normal position, but we got a short right fielder, and the ball's not put in play. Santana strikes out. It's 1 run, 1 hit. And now Altuve and Schaefer and Lowry coming up in the bottom of the 1st against Ubaldo Jimenez. And we now see that it hit off the wall about halfway up first.
Yeah, initially I thought it was just a misplay by JD. I thought he just misread the ball and it landed next to him. But after reviewing it a couple times, you can see it hitting fairly high off the wall. They're right on the yellow line. That's why it kind of disappeared. And now it all makes sense.
Yes, it does. Jose Altuve caught the first pitch from Joe Morgan. His ball 1 down and in from Ubaldo Jimenez to Altuve. A .313 hitter with 4 homers, 22 runs batted in. He is tied for 9th in batting average in the National League. Has 86 hits. That's tied for 4th. Jimenez delivers a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. And Jose said around the batting cage he was looking forward to chatting with Joe Morgan before the game tonight. That's a strike, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Altuve. Ubaldo Jimenez has great numbers against the Astros. 3 wins, no losses, a 2.27 ERA for 5 career starts. Broken bat roller to first. Picked up by Kochman. He's an excellent fielder. The Hyundai starting lineup now for Brad Mills. We'll show you Altuve leading off at second base. Jordan Schaefer in center field. Jed Lowry at shortstop. Carlos Lee, who got caught in traffic trying to get to the ballpark because of a wreck on 59 at first base. J.D. Martinez in left field. Brian Bogusevic in right. Chris Johnson at third. Chris Snyder the catcher. Lucas Harrell the pitcher. Funny thing was he texted a photo to Brad Mills of the accident. Texted it to him as proof that he was caught in that accident traffic. Jordan Schaefer the batter.
So that way he avoids a fine in kangaroo court. Fires a preemptive strike. That's not me. I left my house plenty early.
That's right. Ball 1 to Schaefer. And he hits that pitch out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jordan.
You look at Ubaldo Jimenez halfway through the 2010 season. People were calling him the best pitcher in baseball, and for good reason. He was 15-1 with a 2.20 ERA, but since then, fairly pedestrian numbers.
2 balls, 1 strike.
20-25, an ERA of 4.5 for Jimenez. The velocity way down. Back in the day, he was throwing 96 miles. He was sitting at 96 miles an hour, sometimes 98, 99. The average velocity now right about 92. You know, still certainly good enough to compete, but not the overpowering guy. And very difficult to explain.
There's a walk, and that's been part of the issue. That's his 46th walk in 76 innings.
He's got a funky delivery. Well, defensively, he's got the old guy Johnny Damon out there in left. Brantley in center. Chu can really throw in right field. Chukenhall Cabrera on the left side. Kipnis Kochman on the right side, and Carlos Santana's behind the plate. He's been pretty tough to run on. Jimenez, however, has not been.
Jed Lowry steps up. 269 for Jed. Schaefer starts and stops, and there's ball 1 to Jed with 13 homers, 31 runs batted in.
Jordan 16 out of 21. Again, Santana's been pretty tough to run against, but Jimenez, the big righty with that long arm action, has been easy pickings for base stealers.
Third baseman Chisenhall in close as the throw goes over on Schaefer. Schaefer with 16 steals in 21 attempts, drawing some attention alongside Bobby Meacham. Dave Clark has signs. Carlos Lee's on deck. Foul back by Lowry. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. The Astros offense in low gear right now, losing here to Kansas City Tuesday night 2-0, and then Wednesday 2-1. Jimenez last time out lost to Pittsburgh in Cleveland 9-2. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. The 2 starts prior to that on the road, both in the quality start category. Runner going. And the throw drifts and safe at second base. Cabrera tried to get back for the tag, but the throw took him out toward the right field line. Schaefer gets his 17th steal.
See the break and then the throw drifting on Santana. The quick tag applied by Cabrera on the back of the leg. Close. It looked like he was in there.
Yeah. Jordan Baker with the safe call. Schaefer at second now with a 2-1 count after his 17th stolen base. Lowry will try to get him home to tie this game.
Hey, that's the next stat we need to introduce.
What's that?
To our fans, because we don't have enough statistics for them. We'll get the umpire's record on safe out calls on stolen base attempts. Jordan Baker, 71% of the time, gets it right.
Oh, can't wait for that one.
Well,
3 balls and strike. He's a rookie ump. Bill Cousins, Manny Gonzalez, and Jerry Davis join him on this crew. The Astros have lost 18 of their last 24. And they would love to make this a turnaround weekend, starting with this flashback Friday with the rainbow uniforms. Joe Morgan will be joining us shortly. Jimenez missing there, and Lowry walking for the 2nd straight walk, bringing up Carlos Lee.
Jimenez's walk rate is way up. His strikeout rate is down significantly for his career. Better than 8 strikeouts for every 9 innings pitched. This year it's less than 6.
He's averaging almost 18 pitches per inning.
Well, you know, it looks to me it's a guy who's used to, well, and of course it's been a while since he was throwing that hard, but you know, a guy who the ball used to come out of his hand at 96 free and easy. Now he's trying to make it happen and kind of herky-jerky and just trying to heave it towards home plate to get a little something on it, and he's losing command as well as velocity.
Strike one to Carlos Lee. 301 is his average, including 4 homers, 25 runs batted in. He went 3 for 10 against the Kansas City Royals in the previous series. Since he came off the disabled list, he's hit 333, 6 for 18 with 2 runs batted in. It's 0-2 for Jimenez. Jimenez, 28 years old, traded last August to the Indians for 2 young pitchers, lefty Drew Pomeranz and right-hander Alex White.
The Tribe was in go-for-it mode. They had a chance to. They felt like they had a legitimate chance to win the division. They ended up finishing 80 and 82.
That one spins up there, and it's ball 1.
Cleveland, a first-place club in the standings, but not all first-place teams are created equal. They've actually been outscored by their opponent by better than 30 runs.
Up the middle, off Jimenez, and he slows it down. Here's the throw to first. Now here's the throw to second base. A run down. Now the throw to the plate, and Santana with the tag on Schaefer to get the double play that way. And for the Astros, it's no runs, no hits, and a man left, and it's 1-0 Indians. Hall of Famer Joe Morgan joining us now, and what a nice day for Houston baseball to celebrate the past and bring back a native Texan, Joe Morgan, who started with the Colt 45s. Special day for you. Of course, you're in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, and that is the highest honor a player can get, but this is a pretty good one too, Joe.
It's a great one. I don't take anything for granted, Bill. You know, I started off here in Houston. And as I said today, I actually learned to play baseball in Houston. You know, when I got to Cincinnati, I already knew how to play. And I was just with, you know, some guys that where the things I did well fit in so well with Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, Tony Perez, and all those guys. But I knew how to play when I got there because of the things I learned here in Houston and the people I was around. So it was a great move for me to move to Cincinnati, but it was also a great move for me to come to Houston in the first place.
Ground out on Brantley. And Joe, you were signed from your home in Northern California at the time, joined this club, made it very quickly to the big leagues, and you credited Nellie Fox with a lot of your improvement at second base.
Well, you know, Nellie Fox, it's so funny, Bill, when I grew up in Northern California, I idolized Jackie Robinson and Nellie Fox. Nellie because he was a second baseman, played the game the way I hoped to play it, and tough, you know, competitor. And Jackie because he made it possible for me to dream about playing in the major leagues, and he was also a second baseman, so it was a double whammy there. And when I got to Houston, Nellie Fox was a player coach, so as a kid, you know, it's like you died and gone to heaven. I'm in the big leagues and also playing with the guy that I idolized. So it was great.
So was it a case of Nellie Fox taking you out and saying, you know, here's what I do, or was it more just watching him play?
No, it was interesting because Nellie Fox, Bob Lillis, Joe Gaines, Eddie Casco.
Chris Johnson with this play. 2 outs.
They all wanted to help me, and I have to give myself a little pat on the back because I was willing to work as hard as they were willing to take me. Every day at 3 o'clock, you know, we played 8 o'clock games back in the day, and we would start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd come out here. They hit me ground balls. We made double plays. We did everything. They had guys come slide into me at second base, do all that stuff. They taught me how to play the game, and Nellie taught me not only how to play but how to be a big leaguer. You know, I can't tell you a lot of the things off the field because he yelled at me a few times about things, and he said, no, you're going to be a big leaguer, you're a professional, this is the way you carry yourself. And so I had great guys teaching me how to play the game.
And that was so important then when you got to Cincinnati, you were able to fit in with all those talents.
I already knew how to play. And it's interesting because I tell people I learned more my first year than most guys learn in 5 years because of those guys. Not that I was smarter, but because those guys were willing to work with me, bring me out every single day, taught me every facet of making the double play, everything around the bag, and you know, and taught me a lot about, you know, just the approach. You know, back in those days, it was more about defense for the middle infielders than it was offense.
All right, pop up to Altuve, and we'll be back with Joe Morgan with the score 1-0 Indians. Years 1975 and 76. Then he returned to the Astros 1980 for what at that time was the greatest year in this franchise history. Tell us about that, Joe.
Well, you have to remember you were back in the day. When I left here, I said I would love to come back here one of these days and help the Astros get to the World Series. And so when that opportunity arose, I was a free agent after the 79 season.
Right.
And, you know, the Astros, Tal Smith, whom I've known for a long time, he called, and I had, you know, Dodgers call. I had a couple of teams call me. And I'd always remembered, you know, look, I'd always said I'd like to go back there because, as you know, I didn't want to leave when I got traded. Mm-hmm. I was part of this organization, came up through the organization, and I felt like if they would have given us some time, we could have won something. Jimmy Wynn, Rusty Staub, all the guys I was here with.
Little dribbler to third. Chisenhall. Yeah, there was some great talent.
Yeah, we had a lot of talent. So I didn't want to leave, but once I left, and I have to tell you, my dad, you know, he knew I didn't want to leave. And so as we got close to spring training, you know, my dad came to me one day and he basically said, you know, you have a chance to win a world championship. and my eyes got about this big, and so when I got to spring training with Pete Rose and all those great players, I really realized this is a place for me because the things that I did fit in so well with them. Mm-hmm. But I never wanted to leave. I want that etched in stone somewhere.
Well, let's face it, there were some bad trades at that time in this franchise history, right?
Well, I have to tell you, this is the thing that bothered me the most. I led the team, I think, in home runs the year before they traded me. And it wasn't, I only hit 14, but remember the Astrodome was a big ballpark. Sure. Mm-hmm. So they wanted some power, and I understand that. They needed more power. So they traded me for Lee May, Tommy Helms, and whatever, and they brought the fences in. I said, why didn't you bring them in when I was playing here?
You know what I mean? To make the trade look even better if those guys hit 30 jacks. They'd say, see how smart we are?
They were smart. You're right. And I'm telling you, that was unbelievable. I said, well, when I played the Astrodome, remember you had to hit it all the way in the seats. They brought an inner fence. Lord, I said, oh, man, But it was interesting. Like I said, they were going to protect themselves.
Jimenez with this play, getting Bogusevic, and then today, as you return, it's the Walk of Fame, and you have that plaque out there on the sidewalk now. So you even brought your camera and got a photo.
Yeah. Well, my daughter and my wife were saying, take pictures. And I said, let me take this and send it to them. So I did, and I emailed it to them, and they thought it was great. And it was great. I have to tell you, anything, you say I'm going to have a plaque in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, all that, and I mean that. That's great. But nothing replaces where I started. I mean that. This is where I started my career. And as I said to you today, Bill, people ask me what was my greatest thrill, hitting home run in the World Series, winning the World Championship. The greatest thrill I had was the day I put on that uniform, that Major League uniform, for the first time, and it said Colt 45s on it. And I buttoned that button, and I can still remember today. To this day, that's still, to me, that's the highlight of my career. I really mean that, because I didn't dream of making the Hall of Fame. I didn't dream of winning world championships. I dreamed of making it to the Major League. So once you get there and you accomplish that dream, it never goes away for me.
Yeah. And I wonder how many people are sitting at home watching going, gee, we didn't know Joe played that long with the Astros.
Right.
I bet you a lot of our fans knew you played here, but I had no idea you played here that long.
Yeah. Well, I end up, as it turns out, I played 8 and 8. I played 8 years for the Reds, Major Leagues, and I played 8 years for the Astros.
There's a line shot to left. And that's caught for out number 3. Joe, we thank you so much for coming back to Houston and for being on with us.
Well, Bill, we go way back, so I thank you for the honor of sitting here with you. And
pleasure, Joe.
And it's fun. Thank you.
Have fun.
Joe.
Have a good night.
So there it is.
13.
Yeah, look at that. 13 home runs. Now.
The Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history on this date in 2000 when Scott Ellerton went 8 innings, striking out 6 and walking 1. Mark Valdez got his first career save in a 6-3 win over the Dodgers. The Valdez, only 2 saves with the Astros, 4 total in his career, but a big night and day for Scott Ellerton. This moment in Astros history brought to you by MV Anderson. Now back to Bill Brown and Jim DeShane.
Thank you, Greg. A 1-0 ball game. The Tribe getting a run in the first inning on a triple by Chu and a sac fly by Cabrera. Now here's Chisenhall. And he gets a breaking pitch from Harrell. There's strike 1 to Lonnie Chisenhall, the third baseman with a .271 average. He has 3 homers. He's driven in 9 runs. He fouls that one back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Jack Hanahan is on the bench. He was playing a lot of third earlier this year. He got hurt. Chisenhall promoted from AAA Columbus May 28th. And he's hitting 4 of his last 5 games now. Strikes out. Number 3, Patty.
Well, the Astros are excited to welcome Grammy Award-winning and platinum recording artist Third Day for Faith and Family Night tomorrow. The concert will take place following the 3:05 game, and the concert is included with your game ticket. Tickets for Faith and Family Night featuring Third Day are available at astros.com/third. Bill?
Well, the young right-hander Joel Osteen is warming up in the wings. He'll be throwing out the first pitch tomorrow night. Get ready for that Faith and Family Night. There's strike 1 to Ubaldo Jimenez. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Joel, of course, the senior pastor of Lakewood Church. He'll throw out that ceremonial first pitch. And then the concert after the game. 0-2 for Lucas. Chopped up the first base line. That's a foul ball. Great to have Joe Morgan in town today for the Walk of Fame ceremony. He is inductee number 3 of 6 this year.
I suspect Joe managed to get a round of golf in while he was in town.
He played this morning and yesterday.
Might have even gotten into Enos's pocket a little bit.
Maybe. Just off the plate, it's 1-2. Joe is working for the Cincinnati Reds. There's his good friend Enos Cabell on the left.
Oop.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Lucas caught a cleat or something, went stumbling off the mound there. He's very animated when he pitches. It's fun to watch.
He is.
Talks to himself out there. A lot of energy.
He is just really happy to be having this opportunity to pitch every 5th day. He gets a strikeout, and that's number 4.
Well, that's the pitcher, so it's a different cat. But the fact that he's got 4 strikeouts already speaks to his ability to pitch a different style of game. Last inning, there's 3 consecutive ground balls, and that's what he's known for. But he can beat you with his fastball breaking ball combination as well. Those are both very good pitches. He is not just a finesse pitch to contact, soft toss and sinker baller. He throws hard and has good bite on his breaking ball.
Shin-Soo Choo led off the game with a triple and scored on a sac fly. He's 29 years old, from South Korea. Signed with Seattle in 2000. Cleveland got him in a trade in 06.
Tucson High School, where all they did was play baseball.
Really?
5 o'clock in the morning till dark. It was all about getting ready to be a ball player. There was no plan B. Got to see the family on Sundays.
Wow. Sounds like a militaristic type approach, JD.
It's good if it works.
Worked well for him.
Well, that's with a lot of the success that the women golfers from Korea have had on the LPGA Tour. I saw a piece on Real Sports, I think, not too long ago, one of those shows. And they were talking about the golf academies over there, and the girls getting the same kind of thing. They move into these dorms and they practice golf like all day long.
Ground ball goes foul.
At these driving ranges in the city. I mean, they're not even on golf courses. They're just in those tiered driving ranges, just hitting ball after ball after ball.
Really?
Yeah.
Young Indians fan scoops that one up.
The want level has to be really high.
You know it. Some Tribes fans right there in the first row. JD mentioned they haven't been here since 01. Almost 11 years since these two teams have met, and the Indians are 7-8 against the Astros in all-time play. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Broken bat. It rolls out to Lowry's left. And that's out number 3. That's 9 straight after the leadoff triple, but the Indians lead it 1-0.
baseman Jose Altuve and Jimmy Wynn at the Whataburger at Spencer Highway and East Boulevard. They'll be signing autographs on Wednesday from 11 to noon. And while you're there, register to win the ultimate What a Fan experience, which includes autographed memorabilia, sweet tickets, and a chance to throw out the first pitch. Bill?
It's 1-0 as Lucas Harris up. He is hitting 167. He has 1 RBI. And there's strike one.
If you have a son or a daughter who is athletically inclined but feels like they're too small to compete, go meet Altuve and win.
Yeah.
And take a look at Joe Morgan's career while we're at it.
Yes. No balls, 2 strikes with Altuve on deck. That's strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Jimenez. Patty?
Hey, Astro fans, Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. Bill?
Jose Altuve grounded out to the first sack or Kochman in the first inning. Altuve at .312 for the season has scored 44 runs. The Astros have been in a bit of a run scoring drought. There's ball 1. They've been striking out a ton. So they'd like to get that fixed as soon as possible. Their 10th in runs scored in the National League. It's out to second base. Kipnis. 2 outs for Jimenez. The Indians got a complete game in their last ball game Wednesday from Justin Masterson.
Yeah, 3-hitter, 3-game sweep over the Cincinnati Reds for the Indians. They've kind of been scuffling prior to that. With that series win, they're able to hang on to first place in the AL Central. Talked earlier about their run differential. Only the Twins in the Central Division have a worse run differential than the Indians, yet the Indians are in first place. So the math is not in their favor as we go forward.
No.
Pitching is down near the bottom of the league. Offensively, they're a little below average.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Manny Acta has discovered that his club with a lead is really, really good because they have talented relievers at the end of the game. Began his career with the Astros and played for them for several years, then managed in their farm system for several more. Then he went to the Washington Nationals, managed there for a couple of years before the Tribe moved him in as a skipper. 2 balls and a strike.
Took over from Frank Robinson in Washington back in '07. He's only 43 years of age.
It's 2-2. Tom Wiedenbauer is Manny Acta's first base coach. And he is a long-time Astro employee in the farm system. Sandy Alomar Jr. there too on the coaching staff. In the dirt, ball 3, and it's a full count on Schaefer. Justin Maxwell had an MRI on his left ankle. He came out of the game Wednesday with a left ankle injury and said afterwards it had been bothering him on and off most of the season. But it's been discovered that he has a, quote, loose body, which is euphemism for a bone chip in that ankle, and that's of concern to the Astros right now. Foul back. So we asked Brad Mills how he plans to play it. He said, well, Justin and I talked, and Justin wants to try to work with it and try to play. But he said, I really can't play him 3 or 4 days in a row because of it. We'll just try to keep that bone chip from floating into the joint, and hopefully he's available. Strikeout. That's number 2. That's a 1-2-3 third for Jimenez and a 1-0 lead for Cleveland. we have AT&T trivia for you. Who was the last Indian to be named Rookie of the Year? Let's see.
Willie Mays Hayes had a pretty good rookie year.
Strike 1-2 as Drupal Cabrera, who hit the sac fly. That's provided the only run of this game. He's a very good player. It's no balls, 2 strikes to Cabrera.
Legend has it that Cabrera was switch hitting at the age of 3.
Really? Now 26. That's a lot of switch hitting. It's 0-2. He hit a walk-off homer against Aroldis Chapman Tuesday in the 10th inning. And not too many have done that. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He hit 25 home runs last year. And prior to that, power had not been a big part of his game, but he's got it all going on now. Tremendous defender. He's out.
Strikeout number 5, in fact. That's 10 in a row.
Yeah, Harrell is dealing. He is absolutely dealing. This is a changeup that floats off the outside corner, but he's been around the strike zone all night, and he gets the benefit of the doubt from Phil Cuzzy, the home plate umpire.
Cabrera is toast, and now it's Kipnis. He struck out in the first inning. That's ball 1 to him.
You know, in a typical Harrell start, you see a lot of fastballs, but I think he's decided to mix in more breaking balls and changeups against this all left-handed hitting lineup. He / Chris Snyder, the veteran backstop, doing a real nice job.
Yeah. It's 2 balls and a strike. It's a catching situation working out well for Brad Mills. Snyder and Jason Castro sharing the time. Not exactly 50-50, but maybe 60-40. 65-35, somewhere around there. 3 balls and a strike. It's 3-2 now to Kipnis.
Do that again.
That was a quality effort.
Cutter.
Kipnis started 66 of the first 67 games at second base. Wednesday he got a rest. Yesterday the Tribe had a day off. He's grinding it early. Had 136 major league at bats last year in his rookie season. And he tops that one fouling out of play. But second round pick in 09, he is looking very strong. And this double play combination has to be ingrained in the Indians' future, just as Lowry and Altuve and the Astros' future. Very productive for both clubs up the middle. In the air, and the center fielder goes back. Schaefer a little bit. 2 down.
Oh, Cleveland Rookie of the Year. We forgot about that.
Yes, we did forget.
I don't know.
It's going to be too
Kenny
late.
Lofton.
It was Sandy Alomar.
Kenny Lofton finished runner-up to Pat Listash in '92, I believe it was.
Sounds right.
Sandy Alomar, boy, he had a heck of a career.
Oh, yeah.
MVP of an All-Star game. That Cleveland team in the mid-'90s, man, were they loaded. 5 consecutive division championships. Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, that gang.
Yes. Hard-hitting group.
Yeah. Just selling out the Jake every night.
They sure were.
Hated pitching against that club. That Manny Ramirez fella, he was pretty good.
Yes. He was a hitting machine. 2 balls, no strikes.
Think about that club with Alomar and Vizquel. It's 1-3-1 zone trap.
Chris Johnson's out there in right field. Not the first time the Astros have put him out there this year. They want to leave Altuve where he normally plays, so he stays there at second. Lowry's at his normal position of shortstop, so it's a third baseman who moves out to right field, Johnson. And that's ball 3. Carlos Correa, the Astros' first draft choice this year, I believe worked with Sandy Alomar Jr. among others in Puerto Rico. I think he credited him when he signed. He mentioned that. That's a walk. With 2 outs, that's the first for Harrell. And he had retired 11 in a row. Now it's Brantley Lucas is 7-7 in his major league career. Dave Clark working with the positioning on the outfielders. He wants J.D. Martinez to move over toward the line more. He comes in a few steps over to his right, and a little bit closer. As Michael Brantley, 25 years old, is the batter. Brantley takes their strike one. Grady Sizemore, injury plagued. What a terrific player when healthy, but Sizemore is on the disabled list again this year. He had back surgery this time. Last year was knee problems, and he might make it back, they say, in August. Maybe. Snap throw to first. Safe. Santana diving back.
How can you do that to your fellow catcher, Chris Snyder? It's union rules.
Yes, it is.
Big aggressive secondary lead from Santana. Got the attention of Chris Snyder. That'll tighten him up a little bit.
1-1 on Brantley. Michael had 451 at bats for the Indians last year. He was drafted by Milwaukee. Cleveland got him in a trade for CC Sabathia.
His dad Mickey was a big leaguer, mostly with the Mariners.
Brantley gets his chance to play center in Sizemore's absence. Johnny Damon joined their club in early May to take over for the most part in left field. Rolled out and it's fouled off his foot. 1-2 on Brantley.
Looks like that hard slider moving in on Brantley. Beats it off of his ankle, I believe. Shin bone, maybe. Doesn't matter. It hurts.
Brantley had a 22-game hitting streak this year. He hit .337 during that stretch. But the Indians are 12th in homers in the American League and 8th in runs scored. Runner going. Out of play. Still 1-2, and Santana heads for first base again. It was 07 when they were looking good in the playoffs, and since then the Tribe has been unable to attain that status again. Steve Smith is the third base coach. Their general manager Chris Antonetti hoping that they can get back, and last year they finished 15 games out with an 80-82 record. Toward the left field corner, J.D. Martinez on the run and makes the running catch. It's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. It's 1-0 Indians in the fourth.
You can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo. Buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm, save money, sleep happy. Got a news note tonight. Umpire Jerry Lane had to be taken to the hospital. He's been the home plate umpire in Cincinnati when a bat cracked by Devin Mesoraco, and it broke on the follow-through and hit him in the side of the head, and he was down for a couple of steps. They don't think he had a full concussion, but they're taking him to the hospital just to be sure.
Oh, boy. That's tough. He was just here a few days ago.
Yeah, they were in the last series.
1-0. Ubaldo Jimenez has given the Astros one hit, a 2-out second inning single by Chris Johnson. Jed Lowry leads it off in the fourth. He walked in the first inning. That's an off-speed pitch, strike one at 81 miles per hour. Those who have been watching Ubaldo Jimenez say that when he throws his split-fingered pitch, that has not been good for him. He's been bouncing it. Just not a workable offering for him. That's hit high to right field. It's hooking, and Lowry hits a foul ball.
Oh, my.
Long way back. Oh, were they happy they sat up there? Who would have thought?
Yeah, probably didn't anticipate getting a ball. It was a hanging breaking ball from Jimenez that was absolutely pulverized by Lowry. You got a little lean. Is he hit that 10 pin? Oh, no, just missed. Just into the gutter. Oh, man.
0-2. And a fastball gets it done for Jimenez.
Best fastball of the night from Jimenez. That's where he used to live, at 95 miles an hour. Just the inconsistent mechanics sometimes is just so out of whack. He doesn't get that much on the fastball. This time, slipped a good heater right by Jed.
Really a herky-jerky delivery, as you pointed out. Probably exactly the same as when he pitched his best. Carlos Lee grounded out, and then a double play was what resulted on that one. There's ball one. Jimenez, an all-star. He started the all-star game in 2010, and that year he had a 2.88 ERA with 19 wins and 8 losses. A lot of moving parts, though, in that delivery, JD.
Yeah, he was never particularly smooth, and I don't know that he's changed his mechanics all that much. It's to me like he's trying to see how he kicked his leg back behind him, trying to keep his weight back a little bit better. Scott Radinsky is the pitching coach for the Indians. The guy works very hard, Jimenez does. There's a good changeup or split finger pitch there.
Yeah. Well, what some of the guys with the Indians told us was that if he sticks with fastball, curve, changeup, that's his best stuff. And he does.
Talk about flashback Friday. This was Ubaldo of 2 years ago all of a sudden.
He's flashing back to 2010.
Yeah. Comes off that off-speed pitch, drops down a little bit, and slips a heater by Carlos, who rarely strikes out.
It's only the 14th time he's punched out this year. He's been the toughest to fan in the majors. J.D. Martinez looks at ball one. He grounded to third in the second inning.
Remember when Ubaldo was with Colorado, that great year he had, and he pitched the no-hitter in Atlanta, and the story was that he was up at 5 or 6 in the morning running the streets of Atlanta the next day. And he's a workaholic. Plenty of pitchers been known to run the streets after a start, but a little bit differently than what we're talking about with Ubaldo. I'm talking about running shoes and jogging. That kind of running the streets.
2 balls, 1 strike to J.D. Martinez. That was a big midseason trade last year. Bogusevic on deck. And there were some repercussions with his Rockies teammates. Jimenez missing there, and it's 3 balls and a strike now. He hit Troy Tulowitzki with a pitch in spring training, and that touched off a little brawl, and Jimenez got suspended, missed the first few games of the season this year. Apparently everything was not left on the friendliest of terms when Jimenez was traded. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dallas Keuchel goes tomorrow night. Well, it's afternoon game, actually, 3:05 against Jeanmar Gomez. And then the Faith and Family Night concert after the game. There's a 2-out walk to J.D. Martinez. That's the 3rd of the game for Jimenez. Well, the Astros with just the one single, but 3 walks, and now it's Bogusevic who grounded back to the pitcher. Off day yesterday. Bogey said he did absolutely nothing. That could be a good thing this time.
Yep. Just take a break from the daily grind.
That's the name of a coffee house, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
That's ball one. Felipe Paulino was just here with Kansas City, and a couple days ago, JD, he was saying how good he felt, and now he's likely headed for Tommy John surgery. One ball, 1 strike. And he will be the 4th Kansas City Royals pitcher to have Tommy John surgery this year.
Dr. Tommy John is very, very busy these days. Kyle Drabeck in Toronto, I believe he had his last day or two.
I think so. 2 balls and a strike. Tommy John, the pitcher, had an outstanding career. He won what, 288 games? Really a solid career. But he's known to an entire generation more for the surgery than his career.
Yeah, at some point in the future, people are going to think Arnold Palmer's a drink and not a golfer.
Jerk to right field. It's hooking hard and going foul. Oh, Lowry did it. Now Bogusevic just foul. And an Indian fan winds up with that one. Chu.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Lowry crushed his. Bogusevic puts a good swing on it. Just got to wait a tick longer. The young man.
He's offering his friend can look at it for 5 seconds. Chris Johnson on deck. In the dirt. It's a full count. Even though the Astros haven't managed much, you get the feeling that if they can work this pitch count, something good might happen later on. 57 pitches for Jimenez. Brad Mills' club will take runs any way they happen. Boy, it's been a rough stretch for his club. Tons of strikeouts. They've struck out more now than any other National League team this year. And they were pretty good about a month ago. Runner going. And a strikeout. Ends it here in the 4th inning. Jimenez gets 3 in that frame. 1-0.
What do you drive? Well, if you want to see one of the promising young pitching prospects in the Astros organization, get out here tomorrow afternoon and watch left-hander Dallas Keuchel pitch for the 2nd time. Made his major league debut against the Rangers. 5 strong innings, 1 earned run in the game in which he did not figure in the decision. He'll be going in the 3 o'clock game tomorrow. Astros live at 2:30. That's your Mazda game break. Let's go back to Brownie and JD.
Thank you, Bart. Dallas getting ready for that one. He said he really wasn't that nervous for his debut against the Rangers. Johnny Damon just took ball 1. Said he was actually more nervous the last couple starts at AAA this year. 1 and 2.
Because did he feel like there was a knock coming from the big leagues?
He didn't really say the reason.
Calling his number?
Acted like he really wasn't sure why, but said he just felt really comfortable.
Just maybe a sense of calm came over him. He's made it to the big leagues.
He's arrived. Foul back. By the way, Bud Norris, whose spot he took in the rotation, is due to make a rehab start tomorrow night for the Astros AAA Oklahoma City club. Johnny Damon is 4th among active players in hits, doubles, and 5th in games.
Remarkable career for Damon, now 38 years of age.
Strikeout number 6. Really has been. And yet he sat home all winter unsigned.
Great movement on this pitch from Harrell.
Well, he's got a big high leg kick. Now Kochman popped to second in the 2nd inning. He is an excellent glove man. Kochman takes a look at ball 1. Casey, 29 years old. He was a first round pick of the Angels in 01. Then traded to Atlanta. Grounds to Carlos Lee. 2 down. Carlos just turned 36 on Wednesday. Now it's Chisenhall batting. Chisenhall struck out in the 3rd inning.
Clyde Drexler is 50 today.
He looks like he's about 35.
Could probably still do a 360 reverse tomahawk in your face, all that good stuff, dunk.
You know it. Clyde is still lean and mean, as those folks know. What's that all about out there?
Is it Garth night at the ballpark?
It might be Garth night, actually. Haven't seen Garth in a while.
Party on.
Broken bat roller out to Altuve. And he throws out Chisenhall. And in the middle of the 5th inning, it is 1-0 Indians.
Back Friday on July 6th against the Brewers. Jose Cruz will toss out the first pitch, and the Astros will wear the legendary shoulder rainbow jerseys. Also, don't miss the best fireworks in baseball with Friday Night Fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Root now and buy tickets at Astros.com. Bill?
July 6th. Very good. Look forward to that, Patty. Thank you. 1-0. This game has moved right along, and that is Cheo's special night as the 1970s will be represented on July 6th against Milwaukee. He will be the franchise great honored that day. Chris Johnson has the only hit for Houston. And now he has both hits for Houston as he gets one into left center field. CJ 2 for 2. That's the way the home fifth begins, with the Astros trailing 1-0.
There's Singleton's for CJ. This ball riding in on him, but he gets the hands pulled in, the barrel out in front. Astros with their first leadoff man aboard here tonight. See if they can make something happen.
Chris Snyder would like to follow with one of his own. He lined out to left field in the second inning. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. Has 21 hits and 17 runs batted in with those 21 hits. Lucas Harrell on deck. His ball one comes in from Ubaldo Jimenez. The Astros are 4-8 in interleague play. The American League leads the National League this season 120-90. That one floats high. It's 2-0 to Chris Snyder. Roy Oswalt is making it a very successful 2012 debut. He's gone 4 shutout innings for Texas at home against the Rockies and leads it 2-0. Adrian Beltre hit a 2-run first inning homer off Christian Friedrich, his 13th. Bouncer out to second. There's the flip from Kipnis. Cabrera up and over with a lob toss, and he throws it away and out of play. So just an ill-advised quick airborne throw gives him his 8th error of the year, and the Astros have Snyder at second base with 1 out.
Now 3 of those errors came in one ball game. Cabrera, very talented shortstop, just trying to do a little too much there. And sometimes that's the case with those acrobatic type players. They're capable of making all kinds of, wow, can you believe that plays? But sometimes it leads to this.
It almost looked Vizquel-like for a while. Now Lucas Harrell, he struck out in the third. Snyder on at second. It's the 41st error for the Tribe this year. That's strike one to Lucas.
The Rangers have added 2 more, so they have a 4-0 lead now for Oswalt.
Roy threw 100 pitches in his latest minor league start for Round Rock to get ready for this. That was Sunday. So he is going to give that rotation a lift if he continues to throw like that. And rotation without Derek Holland right now and others. In the dirt. Foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes.
Just swung at that one like he was obligated to.
Yeah. It's Baltimore 1, Washington 0. They played 4 in Baltimore. And Mark Reynolds hit his 6th home run for the only run of the game. Jason Hamill on the mound. That's foul back, and the Orioles really looking strong here to this point of the season. Well, a lot of people thought, well, that team will fade. They haven't been there in the hunt for a long time, but they haven't really faded that much. They're 39-30. They're 2.5 behind the Yankees. They have lost 3 in a row currently, though.
It's a little 911 emergency hack to stay alive.
That was a pinball shot. Stephen O'Brien is protected, at least half of him is, by that screen. Well, he's right-handed. He's going to leave the left arm and shoulder exposed. It's Pittsburgh 4, Detroit 1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at surprising Pittsburgh. Inside. 2-2. Larry Dierker was on the field when Joe Morgan threw out the first pitch. But Larry just had surgery on his right rotator cuff. So he's in a sling and he's rehabbing. Had a bicycle accident. A tire blew out on him. He took a fall. Bouncer, and that will go to shortstop and be an infield hit for Lucas Harrell. Cabrera flagged it down, but Harrell is able to get to first base on the 2nd hit of the inning.
Well, a series of funky looking swings there for Lucas Harrell, but at the end he wins the battle. Able to put the ball in play. Chops it beyond the reach of Chisenhall there. And Cabrera this time wisely doesn't try to make the circus play.
Astros rock, it says. Lucas Harrell gets hit number 5 of the year. 2 men on for Jose Altuve now. Altuve has grounded out to the right side both times. Opportunity for the Astros here, trailing 1-0 to get on the board, and Schaefer's on deck. That's high, ball 1.
Altuve's hit the ball on the ground to the right side twice. If they pitch him in, he's shown an inclination to yank that ball when they try to come in on him lately.
He looks at ball 2.
Menace has kind of found his fastball here in the middle inning. Started the game, he was 89 to 92. In the last couple innings, he's been able to dial up a little bit. Through that 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Lowry. You've seen a number at 94 now.
Altuve's hitting .346 with runners in scoring position. And fouls it back. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jose Altuve. The Pirates, who were winning 4-1, as we mentioned, over Detroit in the bottom of the 7th, are attracting a lot more interest now. They're only 2 behind Cincinnati. They're 4 over 500.
Reds trailing the Twins 5-4. They're in Cincinnati. They're in the middle of the 6th. Scott Rowland's back. He's been on the DL a good long while. He hit his 3rd home run tonight. Heisey hit his 2nd.
In the dirt, and Altuve went for it.
So Bogey go way out of the strike zone last inning and struck out, and now Altuve chases that split finger pitch down in the dirt. Astros first couple weeks of the season were very patient, drew a lot of walks, and that was a question of time. Okay, is this a trend? Apparently not.
2-2 pitches in the dirt. Santana with a nice job. Full count on Altuve. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Unlikely the runners would be moving on this pitch. But that's the fun of baseball. Brad Mills might just decide to do it.
Well, early in the year, I think he would for sure, because Altuve wasn't striking out. Lately, he's been striking out a little bit.
And that's the thought behind it.
And if you have different people on base too, then have, he's got Snyder out there and then the pitcher. So
line shot right field. It's going to go foul.
So I don't think he would have had these base runners running if Rod Carew were hitting.
I have to agree with you.
Sometimes the situation says one thing, but the personnel says another. You got to have the right tools. They call a push broom for a reason. You ever try to pull with a push broom?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well at all.
No. Despite repeated efforts, it never really worked. Sometimes you get stubborn. 75 pitches for Jimenez. 45 strikes. And shaking off Santana. Santana wants to chat. Tampa Bay and the Phillies are delayed in Philadelphia by rain. Atlanta and Boston 0-0 in the bottom of the 3rd at Fenway, with Jair Jurgens back in the Atlanta rotation, pitching well tonight.
I believe that Cliff Lee pitching for Philadelphia tonight, still in pursuit of his first win of the year.
Oh, that's crazy. It is Cliff Lee. And the Actors Club with a 1-0 lead here, but the Astros threatening with 2 singles and an error in the inning. And a big 3-2 pitch coming for Jimenez. Altuve hits it in the air, and the left fielder comes over for it. Damon Freeman with a catch. 2 outs.
You know, of all the crazy things that happened in a baseball season, as we look at this replay, this breaking ball actually backed up on, and then as he didn't make the pitch he wanted to make, but he got the result he was looking for. All the crazy things, no hitters, perfect games, Hamilton hitting 4 home runs a game. I think the most astonishing stat is the fact that Cliff Lee doesn't have a win yet.
Yeah. Jordan Schaefer has walked, stolen a base, and struck out in this game. There's strike 1 to Schaefer. And because of Justin Maxwell's left ankle injury now with the bone chip, Brad Mills doesn't feel that he can play Justin as much as 3 games out of 4 or 8 games out of 10. So that's going to mean more playing time for the other outfielders, obviously. Foul back.
And that's unfortunate because, you know, Justin's a big guy with a big swing, and I think when he gets regular playing time, that's where you really start to see the dividends pay off for him. So hopefully Brad can keep him in there enough to keep him sharp.
He said, well, we could start him maybe a couple games in a row and then maybe use him off the bench. He said 5 homers in June. He said we'll just really have to see how this injury is manageable. One and 2 to Schaefer with Lowry on deck. Milwaukee and the White Sox are scoreless after 5. Chris Sale pitching for the White Sox. And a strikeout for Jimenez gets him out of 5th inning trouble. That's number 6. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left, and it's 1-0 Indians.
Time now to introduce you to our progressive fan of the game, and it is this lovely lady right here, Mary Lou McDaniel. She's our fan of the game because her daughter and her niece nominate her, because way back in the day you used to work at the Astrodome. Tell us a little bit about what you did.
I worked on the switchboard on the Astrodome from 1970 to 1976, and at that time there were 8 of us on the switchboard, which was a plug board then. But we all had a good time. We watched, the Astros weren't very good then, but we watched every game. And it was a time when the judge still was in the dome itself, lived in the dome itself.
Yeah, he had his own suite upstairs in the dome. Can you, tell us any inside stories or anything about those days with Judge Hoffines living there?
Well, the judge was really a very nice man. He let us tour the whole complex. Let us see his living quarters, and he had a bar that had a bar stool that went up and down, that when you sat on it, he had a thing and back there they could make the seat go down or he'd make the seat go up. And he had a lot of fun with that. Then he had a bowling alley, and they slept there. His office was ornate. If you ever been to his office, it was beautiful. He had a lot of gold and a lot of ornate stuff from the travels he made during the during the years he was here.
And all these years later, I know you are still a huge Astros fan, aren't you?
Oh, I watch every game, every game. I drive my kids crazy at home watching. Every time they come home, the Astros are on. Oh, it just kills them.
All right, well, before I let you go, can you give us an example of how you'd answer the phone? Was that like one of those one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy things? Or give us an example. Answer the phone for us back in Astrodome days.
The Astrodome is all we'd say.
All right, well, that is awesome. It was a pleasure going back in time with you. You are our progressive fan of the game, so we're going to give you this stuff. And on another note, guys, I don't know if you remember, but back in May, Thomas O'Brien, right up here behind me, was our fan of the game. He was a young man fighting cancer up here, and he didn't have a whole lot of time left, and I just wanted to pass along. He did pass away on Sunday. From all of us at Fox Sports Houston and the Houston Astros, we send out our condolences to Thomas, his mother, Deborah Koenig, and his entire family. Guys?
Sure do, Patty. There's Chu taking ball one, and just to add our thoughts to that, we remember that you went and I believe Craig Biggio was in the general manager's box at that time, brought Craig down to meet him. So we do remember that. And last chance we got to see him. Roller out to second base. Altuve over to first to get Chu for out number 2, and Lucas Harrell was about one hit.
Yeah, it was an outfield triple to start the ball game, kind of a fluky triple by Chu right down the left field line. Hit the yellow line just to the left of the out-of-town scoreboard. He came home on a sac fly, and that is it.
Harrell gets another baseball. Cabrera the batter.
He's literally 3 inches away from having a no-hitter here in the 6th.
Sure is. Cabrera then followed that triple by Chu with a sac fly, and then in the 4th inning he struck out looking. That's strike 1 to him. The Indians are 16-14 on the road.
Our Fox Tracks brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan.com. Phil Cuzzy's had a fairly wide zone tonight.
That's a strike. Make it 0-2. The Mets lead the Yankees 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th at Citi Field. Ike Davis hit his 8th homer. Andy Pettit's on the mound for the Pinstripers.
And Metropolitans dropped the 5 spot on him in the 1st. In support of Jonathan Neese. When's Dickey up next? When's the next one hitter?
Not sure. We will check. St. Louis is pounding Kansas City 11-1 in the 4th at Kansas City. Dickey's going to pitch Sunday night against Sabathia.
Ooh, I bet you that's Sunday Night Baseball.
Probably is.
On that other network.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals have 11 runs in the 4th inning on 13 hits, but no long balls. It's in for strike 3. Strikeout number 8. What a game through 6 for Harrell, but he trails 1-0.
Groups of 20 or more receive great discounted rates. Fundraising options are available, and ticket and food packages start at only $10 a person. Get your group together and visit Astros.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Tight 1-0 ball game in interleague play here at Minute Maid Park. The Astros come up here in the home 6th inning against Ubaldo Jimenez, who's shooting for his 7th win of the year. It'll be Lowry, Lee, and Martinez, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Houston in the 6th. Jed Lowry looks at ball 1. They're back. Lowry's Locos. It's 2 balls, no strikes. What a crazy bunch, the Red Wigs.
I got nothing. To add to that picture.
Not really. It's 3 balls. You know, Jed's a Stanford guy. Is there a fit here? 3 balls and a strike.
Well, the Stanford mascot is a tree, so.
Well, that's a good point. Dave Raymond has that Stanford shirt with a tree on it. Three balls, 2 strikes. Dave, proud of that tree for a mascot?
I think so, yeah.
He looks pretty proud. Not as proud as Brett Dolan is of Nebraska, though. Strike 3.
He just came back after 3-0 and made 3 absolute perfect pitches. I'm not sure if they were all in the strike zone, but they were all close enough and not really anything you want to attack as a hitter. You see the final one there, number 6, just above the knees over the outside corner. Nice comeback by Jimenez.
7 strikeouts. Carlos Lee had a ground out and a strikeout. There's ball 1. Ubaldo Jimenez has just been outstanding against the Astros. He's had their number in 5 career starts.
It's been an interesting game because he walked 2 of the first 3 batters, right? He started ground ball and then walk to Schaefer and Lowry at the start of the ball game, and it looked like he's really going to struggle with his command, and the Astros might be able to take advantage, but that has not been the case. A little runner gets in on Carlos. He beats one off of his foot. Pad not doing him much good there. Just a little bit below that padding.
Last time Jimenez pitched against the Astros was here May 20th, 2010 against Roy Oswalt. He shut out the Astros 4-0. He went 7 innings, allowing 1 hit and no runs, and he had to leave. He had a cramp in his calf. The only hit he allowed was an infield hit to Humberto Quintero. And the last 3 times he's pitched, he's given up a total of 2 earned runs in 20 innings to the Astros before this one. Popped up. Kochman coming in. Ubaldo Jimenez clears out. 2 outs. Kochman took care of that one. Now it's J.D. Martinez batting. He has grounded out and he's walked. Well, Jimenez 1-0 with a 1.93 here at Minute Maid Park in 3 starts. It's ball 1. Cool and refreshing. Also colorful on a rainbow jersey night. Two balls, no strikes.
Well, kind of a rainbow era game right here. 1-0 with the pitchers dominating.
This could be Joe Negro against Bert Blyleven.
I was going to go with Sam McDowell, but yeah.
That would be good. Oh, Sam McDowell. He's something. Sudden Sam McDowell. Hard throwing lefty. Strike. Makes it 3-1. Indians with a long tradition of baseball in that city. They have a nice stadium downtown. Fouled away.
What's it called now? Progressive Field?
Yes.
It was Jacobs Field for the longest time.
Sure was.
Everybody okay down there?
The left hand is a problem and not available for pinch hitting tonight.
MRI day to day.
Yeah. It's a bone bruise on the third metacarpal. Oh no! Struck him out. That's number 8, and it's 1-0 Indians after 6.
If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. Astros need to rethink something offensively. This is the 4th straight better than quality start, and they just haven't been able to get any runs. That's up to you guys upstairs.
We're going to go to work on that. There's ball 1, because you were talking about it between innings, and we were eavesdropping. Ubaldo Jimenez, 6 shutout. Lucas Harrell, 6 one-run innings. And we're going to combine the stats from this game. Lucas Harrell, 6 innings, 1 run, with each of the last 4 Astros starters. And Phil Boudreau has figured out that is a starter's ERA of 1.55 to this point in this game. Two balls and a strike.
Yeah, they've wasted some pretty good pitching.
Yes.
And they won half start, 9-7. That was that crazy one where the Royals scored all those runs in the 9th. And, got shut out in Wandy's start. Zeb Hochevar for Kansas City pitched that game, and then Lyles, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs in his start on Wednesday, and they got beat 2-1.
Strikeout looking. That's 9 strikeouts for Harrell. Big punch out game for Lucas. AT&T U-verse brings you this reverse replay, and we'll take a look back at this ball game and show you a strikeout for Harrell, and he's really dealing tonight.
Well, and you notice how many of those were on the inside part of the plate against left-handed hitters. The Indians started this game with an outfield triple to left field by Chu, and then Cabrera also from the left side hitting a sac fly to left field. And I think Chris Snyder recognized early on that these left-handed hitters were going to be willing to go the other way off that two-seamer running down and away. So they started to mix more pitches in. Haven't given up on that sinker away, but really effectively using both sides of the plate with both the fastball and the slider. And just a masterful performance by Lucas and outstanding game calling by Snyder.
2-0 pitches in for a strike. Lucas is blown by his previous strikeout high as a major leaguer. Since allowing a leadoff triple in the first, he's allowed 1 base runner, walk in the 4th. Previous strikeout high 6, May 19th against Texas. And he's struck out 9 now. It's 3-1. Brantley on deck. Shift is on again.
And since that first inning, there's only been 2 balls out of the infield. Kipnis hit a fly ball to center. Brantley hit a fly ball to left. Both of those coming in the 4th inning. So everything else has been a punch out or a ground ball. And that is dominance.
Now it's Brantley who is grounded out, first baseman to pitcher covering, and flied out to left. The Indians are 31-19 against right-handed pitchers for a .620 winning percentage, 4th best in the majors. But Harrell has just been stopping them cold tonight after that first inning run.
Makes his performance tonight even more impressive.
Lucas shooting for win number 7 of the year. And he would take over the staff lead. Wandy Rodriguez has 6. 2 balls, no strikes. The Tribe as a team came into this game with a .269 batting average against right-handed pitching. They're very vulnerable to southpaws, as JD mentioned earlier, hitting .218 against them.
Tied for last in Major League Baseball with the Cubs. Surprised he came with a breaking ball there on 2-0 to Brantley. He's hit 1 home run this year. He's not a real slugger. In a situation where I think you go back to that sinker and see if you can get a ground ball here from Brantley.
Brantley takes a walk. Back-to-back walks. The attendance is 26,932.
Brocail going to go out and have a chat with his young right-hander, try to get him back pointed in the right direction. So, Brownie, the book is out.
Yes, sir.
Brownie's got a book out, folks. Recommend you go to Amazon.com. Is that the easiest way to get it?
Or you could go to MyBaseballJourney.com.
MyBaseballJourney.com. Did we do a book signing yesterday on the update?
We did. We had a good time out at Wolfie's, Spring Cypress, 249. We'll have some more over the All-Star break, JD. And thank you for your contribution to the book. Wesley Wright is warming up.
I got another good book for you, too.
What do you have?
Bottom of the 33rd, Hope, Redemption, and something.
Ooh.
About it's based on the longest game ever played in a minor league game, Pawtucket and Rochester years ago.
Oh, yeah. Damon with a smash into right field. Here's a stop sign for the runner at third. Bogusevic's throw cut off, and the bases are loaded on a Johnny Damon single. Bases loaded, 1 out. So have you recently read this book?
I'm just about done, and it's just a wonderful book. It came out last year. And Dan Barry, a writer for the New York Times, I believe. Good effort here by Altuve, coming up just short. One more of those and we might be out of here. One more ground ball could be a double play, and that's precisely what he had in mind. But anyway, it's just a great read. Tells the backstory of a lot of the players, where they came from, where they ended up. It tells the story of the environs of Pawtucket, the history of the ballpark, and it's just really well written. Highly recommend it.
Got to pick it up. Casey Kochman at 260 has Santana and Brantley and Damon on. 1 out. He's popped up and grounded out. There's strike 1 to Kochman.
So, folks, after you finish reading Brownie's book, pick up Dan Barry.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading this summer. But it's that time of year. You know, people going on vacation. They've got to pack a book.
Out by the pool, crack it open. Kochman's hit the ball on the ground twice already tonight.
It's 1-1.
So you might be able to get in on him, because I'm sure what he's thinking is stay inside the ball, try to get it airborne here. You might be able to jam him.
Chisenhall's on deck. Moving outside. 2-1.
Harrell's starting to fly open just a little bit here, and that's creating a little extra run. Instead of the sink, he's getting more run on that two-seamer, and he's not able to find that outside edge. as effectively as he was earlier. He's got to keep that front shoulder closed and make sure the arm stays on top. He'll get good sink. He won't get as much lateral movement. He'll be able to keep it in the zone.
Now a dilemma. 3 balls and a strike.
Kochman down towards the bottom of the order, but he's got some pop. He's hit 6 home runs this year.
Kochman does not walk a lot. 14 walks and over 200 at bats. Big 3-1 pitch coming for Harrell in a 1-0 game with the bases loaded and 1 out. Pop up. Altuve watches as Bogusevic comes over to foul territory. Now in for it. Makes the catch. Here's the tag and the throw to the plate and the tag by Snyder. And they get Santana for a double play.
Home run on Bogusevic. You will pay.
That's the double play to end it as Bogusevic guns to Snyder for the tag on Santana. Had to reach back a little bit. Santana tested him.
Yeah, and he passed that test in a big way. Throws a little bit offline, but there plenty of time for Snyder to go out and get it and then recover and come back and make the tag. Dangerous play for the catcher, going hands first into a sliding base runner. Snyder able to pull it off and come out of it unscathed. And look, who's leading off the inning.
Awfully big play by Bogusevic and Snyder. Aaron Cunningham is in the game now. Cunningham in left field for Johnny Damon. So Damon comes out after going 1 for 3. Cunningham there for a better defensive player, and it's Bogusevic batting. Smacking a liner into left center field. Extra bases for Bogusevic. He heads for second base. He's going to keep churning and stop there at second with a leadoff double, his 6th of the year. Don't want to make that first out at third base.
Well, he put himself in a position if there were a little mishandle out there, or if Dave Clark beckoned him on over to get that extra 90 feet. But I imagine as he was approaching second, he said, all right, there's nobody out here. Don't get carried away. Drop anchor if need be. Cunningham in there for defensive purposes. Able to run it down. Damon doesn't throw well at all. I'm guessing Cunningham's got a little bit better arm than does Damon. But there's that leadoff double we're looking for.
First extra base hit by an Astro tonight. That's hit number 4. Chris Johnson's the batter. He has 2 of the 4 hits, both singles. And ball 1 is up. Third baseman Chisenhall even with the bag. Joe Smith is warming up, side-arming right-hander. Fernando Rodriguez is working for Houston, getting down at the bottom of the order here. Punch foul on a breaking ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to CJ. Great opportunity here for the Astros after Bogusevic led off with the double. And he could be the turnaround player of the game with that throw to the plate and then the double. Topped past Dave Clark, and it's 1-2 to CJ. There's been a lot of talk about strikeouts, and rightfully so, involving Astros hitters lately. If the guy leading off the game strikes out, it's not that big a deal. In this situation, boy, it's really helpful to get that runner to third.
Yeah, some strikeouts hurt you a lot more than others.
Foul back.
CJ is trying to stay back there with 2 strikes, let that ball get deep, wants to see it as long as possible to do everything he can to put the ball in play. And I'm sure that's what Mike Barnett would say. You know, strikeouts are one thing, but I want to see the approach. I want to see my guys have a good 2-strike approach in certain situations. There are times when, hey, 2 strikes or not, you're letting it all hang out. Other times when you're looking to at least make sure you advance the runner, you try to shorten up a little bit.
Roll to third. Chisenhall looks the runner back, Bogusevic, and then throws him out.
Sometimes you have the best of intentions, but you just get beat, and that's what happened there. CJ trying to stay back and was fooled a little bit by that off-speed pitch from Jimenez.
Bat got out in front a little bit, and he grounded to the left side. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, has joined Joe Smith now. Chris Snyder 0 for 2, line to left and reached on a force play. Justin Maxwell's on deck. Pitcher spot due up next for Houston. It's Baltimore 2, Washington 1. They've played 6 in Baltimore. Strike call. Yeah, he thought it was up. Hanging slider that looked like a frisbee. Be interesting to see that one on Fox Tracks. Outside, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
I've seen Jimenez do this a couple times tonight. Drop down a little bit. Number 1 on Fox Tracks, indicating a little bit above the zone.
Chris flexed at the knees a little bit. Ground ball to third. Chisenhall again. 2 outs now. And Jimenez trying to hang on to this 1-0 lead will face the pinch hitter Justin Maxwell, batting for Harrell. Harrell with just a brilliant night. 7 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, walking 3, fanning 9, a new high for him. And hoping Maxwell can come through as the pinch hitter. Justin has been a very good pinch hitter. 6 for 22, 273, 3 homers, 7 runs batted in. He's had 8 homers in 120 at bats for the Astros.
The Astros starters in the last road trip did not pitch deep into many ball games, and that put a lot of pressure on the bullpen. Now with this recent work from the starters, plus the off day yesterday, chance for the bullpen to regroup. So everybody should be back in pretty good shape here. Sure would be nice to not only get Harrell off the hook here, but give him the lead, give him a chance to win. He pitched a beautiful ball game.
The Houston bullpen. Wesley Wright had been throwing, but lately Fernando Rodriguez is the only pitcher getting loose right now. Jimenez is scheduled up second in the Cleveland 8th. He's thrown 105 pitches, 63 strikes. Missed there, and it's 2-1 to Maxwell. Maxwell went 2 for 9 with a homer in the Kansas City series. He's hit 5 home runs in the month of June.
Astros have been one of the best pinch hitting teams in all of baseball. Maxwell a big part of that, and now he's got a very, very favorable count here.
Big pitch coming for Ubaldo Jimenez, leading 1-0. Altuve on deck. 3-2.
I didn't think he would give in there, and he came with a breaking ball on 3-1. It wasn't a particularly good breaking ball, but he got away with it.
Maxwell's hitting .455 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Ball 4. He draws a pinch walk, bringing up Altuve. That's walk number 4 for Jimenez.
A good job there. Took the big swing at the 3-1 pitch. Nothing wrong with that. Came up empty. And then showed a little discipline and was able to work the walk.
Chevron brings you the starting pitchers for the rest of the series tomorrow at 2:30 for Astros Live. Jeanmar Gomez, a 4-6 record of 4.95 ERA against Dallas Keuchel, trying for his first major league win for the second start as a big leaguer. And it's the longtime veteran Derek Lowe pitching Sunday 12:30 for Astros Live against Jay Happ.
Double switch time coming as Manny Act is out chatting with Phil Cuzzy. Ubaldo Jimenez will leave this game.
Jack Hanahan comes in the game.
He'll play a little first base.
Sure is. With the score, Cleveland 1, Houston 0. We pause for this.
Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. Central on Fox. And fans, keep those votes coming for Jose Altuve. Vote out here at the ballpark. Vote online. He is moving up. He is third amongst all second basemen. Let's get him up to second. Some changes out there on the field, Bill Brown.
Yes, we have a double switch. And there is Jack Hanahan. Came in to play first base. He will be batting ninth. And the pitcher, Joe Smith, will be in the number 7 spot with Kochman coming out of the game. Side-arming right-hander. Jose Altuve, the batter. He's 0 for 3. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. 1-0 Cleveland. Strike 1 for Smith.
Smith. That drop-down delivery presents problems for right-handed hitters. It's a fastball slider for Joe Smith. He's 5-1 with a 3.60 ERA.
Altuve fouls it back. 0-2. Smith, 25 years old, from Cincinnati. Went to Wright State University. Did not get a scholarship. He was cut from the team as a freshman. Came back as a sophomore, having changed to the sidearm delivery.
The coach there at Wright State that suggested he drop down. Smith's father thought the coach was nuts. What are you doing to my kid? And they gave him a video of Chad Bradford of the ace. I think this will help. He picked up velocity and voila, he's a big leaguer.
And pitching well. He's allowed only 5 of 20 inherited runners to score. In the dirt with that one. It's 2-2. This is difficult for a right-handed batter with that arm angle of Smith.
Santana not able to slide out in front of that one. Got away with it. Knocked it down with the backhand.
He's held right-handed hitters to a .239 average with 1 homer and 71 at bats. Oh, that's wicked. Struck him out to end the 7th inning. No runs a hit. 2 men stranded after 7. Cleveland 1, Houston nothing.
Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Astros make a pitching change. We go to the top of the 8th. Here again is Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
With the Indians leading at 1-0, and as JD mentioned, they have really struggled to hit left-handed pitching. It's Wesley Wright coming in, and a good time to use him in this ball game, JD.
Yeah, Chisenhall left-handed hitter to lead it off, and then Hanahan, who came in the double switch, also bats left. Well, everybody bats left in this line. A couple switch hitters, Cabrera and Santana. Expect to see a lot of lefties from the Astros. We'll see how Manny Acta sets up his lineup tomorrow. But most of the guys that he has in there tonight are everyday players.
True. Chisenhall is 0 for 2, looking at strike 1. Lucas Harrell in 7 innings allowed the Indians just 2 hits, 1 run, walking 3, fanning 9. A new major league high for him in strikeouts. Altuve to his right takes care of the 1 hopper, and Chisenhall 1 out. Wesley Wright, about 3 hours before game time, JD, was in the Astros clubhouse with a migraine. Had some sunglasses on.
Does he suffer from migraines?
He said
with any regularity? Or
not often, but he's had them a few times.
I've never had them, but I know people that suffer from them. They are very debilitating.
Absolutely. Jack Hanahan has hit .200 against lefties with 1 homer. Hanahan takes strike 1. Overall, he's had 116 at bats, a .267 average, 3 homers, 18 runs batted in for Hanahan. Wesley said normally what gets rid of the migraine is a nap.
Well, I endorse that plan. Maybe that's why I don't get them.
That must be why.
Get my daily nap.
That's a good way to avoid migraines.
Sometimes it happens up here.
Yes. And sometimes your partner's napping too.
And Winston Churchill was a big believer. It's good enough for winning. It's good enough for me.
Well, a lot of experts say a nice little 20-minute nap in the late afternoon is very helpful. Some people take it in the late morning. That's near the left field line. Lowry has the angle, but can't get to Johnson with a play.
Hang on.
He did. No cone.
Yeah, it looked like it'd be Lowry's ball. Tough angle there for the third baseman. Not enough time for Lowry to settle under it, and CJ made a nice play. Yeah, stop. Hang on, baby.
That ball might have dropped out, but he had it.
And a little high five. Seems to be shaking hands as he goes along the rail.
Now, here's a question for you. If he high fives and the ball drops out of his glove, it's still an out.
Yeah, I think so. As long as the high five is, it's like food. There's a 3-second rule.
Okay. Chu opened the game with a triple right off the left field line. Off the wall. He's 1 for 3. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's 197 against lefties without a long ball. Wesley Wright deals a strike. That makes it 1-2. Chu about a week ago had 7 consecutive at bats in which he either hit a home run, which he did twice, or struck out, which he did 5 times. All or nothing kind of stretch. Punches this line drive left field, and JD Martinez comes over to make it a 1-2-3-8, and it's 1-0 Cleveland.
To the bottom of the 8th, and this season MLB on Fox is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. The Cleveland bullpen with the lead after 7 innings has been outstanding this year with a 29-1 record for the Tribe, and Vinny Pestano is one reason he is 3-0 with a 1.93 ERA. JD.
Hey, to a right-hander who drops down a little bit, not as much as Smith. A little bit towards that sidearm angle. No ERA in 6 games this month. Opponents hitting just 162 against Vinny Pestano. Pitched at Cal State Fullerton. 20th round pick by the Indians in 2006.
Those folks are ready for a little Astros offense here in the home 8th inning. With Jordan Schaefer leading it off. Lowry and Lee to follow against Pestano. Vinny was born in Newport Beach, California. And it's Schaefer who has walked and struck out twice, trying to get something started. There's strike one to him. Chisenhall in on the grass at third base. There's the way the Indians align. Brett Myers is warming up for Houston. The Astros have out-hit the Indians 4-2.
Pistano had a stretch of 21 consecutive games with at least one strikeout, the longest such stretch by a Cleveland reliever since 1918.
Wow. Butted in the air and over the screen. Foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Underwood and Rick Manning are next door doing Indians TV. And Matt was saying that Vinny Pistano short arms the ball, JD, and he might be throwing 92 at times, but it just jumps on the hitter. He can't get a good look at that ball out of his hand.
Yeah, where Smith threw that little sinker, it looks like Pistano throws more of a riding fastball, an upshoot from that sidearm delivery.
To right field. Chew back. Chew at the wall with the catch. Oh, so close to tying this game.
I thought he got it.
Sounded good.
Might have had some top spin. Went down to get a breaking ball, and I think that ball just had a little top spin. Take a look at the swing. A home run swing, all right. Just not enough juice. One more cheeseburger would have done it.
Right there at the wall. Jed Lowry has struck out twice after a walk. There's ball one. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Kansas City shut out Houston 2-0. Luke Hochevar and relievers Tuesday night. Kansas City won 2-1 Wednesday. Now it's 1-0 Cleveland over Houston in the 8th inning on Friday. And return to 1968 style baseball. High drive to right center. Maybe this has enough. Chu is underneath this one as well. 2 outs.
Pistano's exciting.
He really is. He gets the crowd up. Patty?
Well, if you're hitting the road, be sure to take the Astros with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros out-of-market game live, online, and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Carlos Lee takes a breaking pitch. There's ball one. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Pistano's allowed just 2 home runs this year in 28 innings.
Foul back. That one almost got Milo again. 1-1. Next booth over.
That one's under siege this year.
Twice Carlos has hit the ball very close to Milo. Foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. JD Martinez on deck. Tomorrow it's 2:30 for Astros Live, game 2 of this 3-game series. A little chop to third goes foul. Jeanmar Gomez starting for the Tribe against Dallas Keuchel. Faith and Family Night concert after the game. Sunday, a 12:30 pregame showtime for Astros Live. Jay Happ and Derek Lowe. Congratulations to Corpus Christi first baseman Jonathan Singleton, named to the U.S. squad for the All-Star Futures game.
Singleton considered the top hitting prospect in the Astros organization. Was acquired in the Hunter Pence trade with the Phillies.
Singleton currently is hitting .273, 11 homers, 42 runs batted in for the Hooks. Jose Altuve played at last year's All-Star Futures game and for the World team, and he went 2 for 3.
The Futures team is going to be managed by George Brett. Bernie Williams will manage the World team.
Out to left center field and caught. Brantley over for out number 3. 3 fly ball outs. We go to the 9th inning. Cleveland 1, Houston nothing. Here it is. Catches on foul balls. The fans in the second deck down the right field line into the corner. Got that one. Jet Lowry hit one long way foul. There's another one in that area. And so the Astros have been flirting with home runs several times in that game.
That's the same guy?
Either that or a replay of the same play.
Oh, man, check that out.
That's some pink. That's a pink bow on that cute little baby. And it is 1-0.
You got to get a win for that baby.
Yeah. David Carpenter comes out of the bullpen for the Astros. Wesley Wright had a 1-2-3 8th. And now it's Carpenter for the 9th. Cabrera, Kipnis, and Santana due up.
Well, in action in the Astros bullpen, it looks like Fernando Abad is warming up. We'll see how long Brad Mills goes with Carpenter here. Cabrera, switch hitter, will turn around and bat left. He's been a little better from the right side this year, but good from this side as well.
Pops it up. Johnson digging over. Snyder holds him off. Snyder may have hit the roof. Couldn't tell.
I don't know if it hit the roof or if when he went to make eye contact with CJ, I thought perhaps that CJ was going to finish the play.
It's ruled no play, so the ball did not hit the roof.
He's lost it.
Yep. No balls, 2 strikes. He was trying to avoid a collision, and then in doing so and looking at Chris and trying to stop him, apparently lost the flight of the ball. Chris Snyder did. Up the middle and past Altuve into right center field. So given a second chance, Cabrera cashes in.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you wish they'd be able to record a team error, at least to take a potential earned run off the pitcher's record because the ball popped up like that. It should have been caught.
Now Kipnis is 0 for 3.
That's minor. Bigger picture is win a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Now a conversation, perhaps to buy a little more time for Abad. if indeed that's the way they want to go.
Bod's getting loose. It'll be Martinez, Bogusevic, and Johnson due up for the Astros in the bottom of the ninth.
You know, usually when the catcher or an infielder goes over there to talk and you think it's about buying time for the reliever, sometimes it's buying time for those guys right there just to talk it over and ultimately make up their mind how they want to go.
Brad Mills' son, Bo, who was in the Cleveland organization in the minor leagues, was traded yesterday to the Cincinnati Reds. And he's going to be joining one of their minor league clubs. Haven't heard yet which one. Carpenter out of the game. Cleveland 1, Houston nothing. Back in a moment. The Astros put up a 0 here in the ninth after the leadoff single by Cabrera. He has no decisions. His ERA is 4.09.
Lieutenant hitters 4 out of 21 against Fernando. He's been throwing the ball pretty well of late.
He'll come in to face Kipnis with a runner at first. Cabrera has 2 steals in 5 attempts.
It's just 2 appearances since coming off the DL for about. I thought he'd been out there a little bit more than that.
Yeah, he pitched the 15th in Texas and Tuesday night against Kansas City.
Overall 18 appearances, 11 innings of work, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 home runs. He was giving up home runs at an alarming rate at the start of the year.
Kipnis has struck out twice and flied to center. There's the throw over. Indians are 3rd in stolen bases in the American League with 53. Chris Johnson's in close at 3rd. Kipnis looks at it. It's ball 1. It's Atlanta 3, Boston nothing. They're in the top of the 7th at Fenway. Strike that evens the count at 1-1. Baltimore 2, Washington 1 after 8 in Baltimore. Minnesota 5, Cincinnati 4, bottom of the 9th in Cincinnati. Texas behind Royals while it leads 4-1 after 7 over Colorado. 2 balls and a strike. Oswalt went 6 2/3 innings tonight. He allowed 9 hits, 1 run, walking 1, fanning 6. Throw goes over to first on Cabrera. Robinson Cano hit his 15th tonight for the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez, his 12th. Andrew Jones, his 7th. And the Yankees have come back after the Mets got 5 in the first. It's now 6-4 Mets, top of the 8th. Indians have been held to 3 hits. The Astros have 4. Cleveland has stranded 3, with Houston leaving 7 on base. That's ball 3, and it's 3-1 to Kipnis.
It's interesting. You see it a lot with pitchers with a man on base, and you start throwing over there. It kind of puts you in a defensive posture mentally. You know, you're throwing over, so protective, and then it translates to how you pitch. Don't attack the zone sometimes.
3-2 now. And he acted with a decision to make about sending his runner at first base with a 1-0 lead. Nobody out and a full count. That's ball 4. The runner is not going. Runners at first and second, nobody out for Santana now. Fernando Rodriguez is ready if needed. Santana has struck out and he's walked twice. Indians have won 4 shutout games. The Astros will come up in the bottom of the 9th with Martinez, Bogasevic, and Johnson.
Santana is a switch hitter, and he's better from the other side. He's .241 as a left-handed hitter this year, .210 batting right-handed.
That's strike 1 to him. Santana has hit .218 since early May when he came back from that concussion. It's 1-1. Fernando Martinez, who had a concussion himself, is now rehabbing for AAA Oklahoma City. He was 2 for 2 last night in game 1 of his rehab assignment. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Armando Galarraga started that game for the first place Oklahoma City Red Hawks. He went 1 inning and allowed no runs. That's a strike call to make it 2-2. Big call.
Sure was. Borderline pitch. If he doesn't get that call, he's sitting there 3-1 to Santana. You see number 4 there, right there in the Charlie Weaver square.
Charlie Weaver.
Ooh, good changeup.
Struck him out. That's out number 1.
Boy, what a nice comeback. He paints the outside corner with a heater and that just delivers a dandy of a changeup, and Santana way out in front.
Michael Brantley is next. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Another lefty on lefty matchup for Brad Mills. Brantley takes strike 1. But unlike many of his teammates, he has hit well against lefties. .284. Strike, and it's 0-2 to Brantley. Cunningham is on deck. Rolled into right field. And here's the go-ahead. Steve Smith bringing Cabrera to the plate. Bogusevic's throw not in time. And now here's another runner trying to score. Throw from Snyder. The tag by Lee. They get him. Carlos Lee elbowed Fernando Abad out of the way and took that throw from Chris Snyder. It's 2-0 Indians. And Brantley winds up at second base.
This ball just too slowly hit. That bought some time for the base runner. So Steve Smith gives him the green light. Bogey tries to make a big throw off the glove of Snyder. And great play by Snyder and Lee, combining to get Kipnis there. I mean, look at the agility by Chris Snyder. He doesn't have time to shed the mask or anything with the bare hand, turn and flip. And Carlos applying the tag.
Now, Bod was there, but Lee moved over and he took the play. So it's now 2-0 Tribe, and we'll be right back. Inning run. Now they have a runner at second. 2 outs in the inning, and Fernando Rodriguez on the mound. He'll be pitcher number 5 for Houston.
This game of musical chairs continues with the pitchers as Brad Mills tries to piece it together, keep his club close. They've only got 1 at bat left. Fernando 1-7 with an ERA at 6 now. He's fallen on tough times here in recent outings.
It'll be Cunningham facing him. Cunningham batting for the first time in this game. He took over in left field for Johnny Damon. Jose Lopez on deck now. Bradley, the runner at second. He got credit for an RBI single. His 33rd run batted in. He took second on the throw. And Bogusevic got another outfield assist, his second of the game, on that 9-2-3 play at the plate. Cunningham looks at a curveball for ball 1. Last year Cunningham, well, this year he's come in 36 times as a defensive replacement. Fastball's on the edge for a strike. That makes it 1-1. David Carpenter is tagged with a run. That pop-up that wasn't caught then allowed Cabrera to stay at the plate. He singled, so it's no innings, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts for Carpenter. There's the smother by Snyder. 2 balls and a strike with Brantley there at second. Each club with 4 hits. The Indians have the only error. And they have closer Chris Perez getting ready for the bottom of the 9th inning. Fernando worked in the Wednesday 2-1 loss to Kansas City. 1 scoreless inning for Rodriguez in that game. Swing and a miss. Takes it to 2-2. Chris Perez, one of the best relievers in the game this year, really has had a full head of steam coming into this one. An extremely nice rhythm of closing out Indian wins. And a swing and a miss gets Fernando a strikeout to end the Indian night. They pick up an insurance run on 2 hits. They leave a man and they lead it 2-0. Indians 2, Astros nothing, and the Major League save leader is in the game. He is Chris Perez. Jose Lopez takes over at first base. He's the 3rd different first baseman to be used in this game by Manny Acta. It's Jack Hanahan moving from first base to third base. And now Chris Perez, an 0-1 record, 22 saves in 23 opportunities, and with a 2-run lead.
Well, he's done a couple things very well. One, he has not walked many, just 7 free passes issued. He has not allowed a home run ball. League gets 204 against him. His ERA on the road this year is 0.90. Fastball, slider.
Strike 1 at 93. JD Martinez 0 for 2 with a walk. Bogusevic on deck. Chris Johnson due up third. Chris Perez will turn 27 July 1st. He comes in with that one, and it's strike 2. He had a blown save opening day. 22 straight since then for Chris. He was drafted by the Cardinals in 06. He gets a strikeout. That's number 10 for Cleveland pitching tonight.
Perez wasting no time, very aggressively attacking JD Martinez, finishes him with a good heater just off the outside edge.
Bogusevic led off the Astros 7th with a line drive double to left center, and the Astros never were able to advance him. He's 1 for 3.
That insurance run the Indians scored in the top half of the inning, huge. That allows Perez to take this aggressive approach, knowing that if he makes a mistake, somebody jerks one out of the ballpark, he still has a lead.
Foul ball back out of play, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Ubaldo Jimenez, who pitched scoreless baseball for 6 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits, walking 4, fanning 8, is in line for win number 7. Joe Smith worked 1/3 of an inning, striking out Altuve with 2 men on. Pestano had a 1-2-3/8. So the Cleveland bullpen has been airtight, retiring 5 straight now.
Bogey trying to get the head out in front of this fastball. Didn't quite get it there and pays the price. See that uniform with 19, and all I can think of is Billy Dorn.
Yeah, that's right. Indians relievers are 11-5 with a rather high ERA, 4.45, but the guys who have pitched in this game have been extremely reliable for them. And as a team, they have 24 saves and 28 opportunities. They're very good at protecting leads late. Strikeout and 2 outs now.
This is a nice, tight, well-placed slider down and in on Bogey. Trying to clear out and can't get there. Hard to hit a 2-run homer with nobody on base.
Yes, it is.
Find a way to get a base runner here.
Chris Johnson has 2 of the Astros' 4 hits. Strike 1 to Chris.
Perez, he's the guy that called out the Cleveland fans earlier this year.
Yes, he did.
So they were bad fans for not showing up.
He's a pretty colorful guy. He's in the limelight for his remarks from time to time. No balls, 2 strikes. And he mocked the Royals outfielder Gerard Dyson by waving his hand in front of his face. He went to Bradenton, to the University of Miami. He's from Bradenton, Florida. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Open a blast. That's all they need.
Chris Snyder on deck. Astros have lost 18 of 24. Foul back. If they could rescue this one, what a feeling that would be, because they just haven't had a chance to get a whole lot going. Held to 1 run on 8 hits Wednesday, shut out on 5 hits Tuesday. Perez strikes out the side here in the 9th inning to nail down his 23rd save of the year and win number 7 for Ubaldo Jimenez. The Astros shut out for the 2nd time in 3 games. They have scored a total of 1 run in the last 3. Final score: Indians 2, Astros nothing.